Hello, welcome to part 3 of Type and Grids. This presentation here is designed to introduce you to dummies. A dummy is a facsimile mock-up, and we'll be making one of those for the magazine to size. So I'll just show you a couple that I've actually got from design agencies. So this is an example here of a actual perfect bound blank magazine size or booklet size. These things, sometimes design agencies will ask a printer. This is quite a large one, this one. This is really quite large. But you know, there's something about seeing the actual, especially the physical printed thing, how big it is to show a client in a presentation. They want to basically know exactly what they're getting, and you know, and it doesn't matter just how it feels in your hand, the weight of it, the size of it, how it opens, and the impressiveness of it. So different sizes, shapes, and things like that can give different feelings and meanings to a piece of work. This is one here particularly, and it says here, look, one portrait, perfect bound. It's on Arrow Global, cover Infoset Plus, the size of it, and the weight of it. So this has actually got a sticker on there which comes from the printer. So this design, I think, is one from the Chase actually that was given. So again, no design on it, just literally the printers sometimes make those up. Now we're going to have to make our own for our magazine. So we know the size of it because we've been looking at the grid. So well, we've got enough cartridge to do this. So this is A2 cartridge, and what I have done, I've measured across here the width, which is 520, and then across here, which is 310 down. So you have those measurements on your initial sheet. What you can do, I'm actually doing 2 or 3 in one go. So I've actually got, make sure the corners are exactly in position, and then by just simply applying pressure and then just going down here now, I can then just cut on the waist edge with my scalpel, new air blade, down like that, and one more, obviously on the cutting mat. Now I need to turn this around because I want to cut on the waist edge, so I'll just turn that around because I'm right-handed, so therefore I need to be able to put it this way around. I apply pressure down here, right? Pressure down, putting an immense amount of pressure down. I only go halfway, move my hand down, and down you go. Back up again with the hand, back up with the scalpel, back down, there you go. And that's probably about it. You should be able to feel when it's through, and there we go. So, voila. So this here is waste. You can keep it if you want, it's up to you. Depends what you want to do with it. But there we have 1, 2, 3 pages. All layout sizes. So all we do now is go to corner, check along there like that. And then put your finger in the middle, down and left and right, crease it like this, back of your thumb to get it really, you can possibly sometimes use the back of the scalpel. The sharper that you get the actual crease, the better it'll be. So therefore, this is the one of my, oops, sorry, put a bit of black on there, just right there, it is. Front cover and the size of it there. So once you've got those, you've done 3 of those, you can put them all together. So here's 3 folded. You can do 4 as well if you want, up to you. We might do 4 in the end, I don't know. So therefore, there they are. So that is unstapled. So I'm going to do staple it now with a long arm stapler. We also have an illustration. We have an actual mechanical saddle stitcher, which we can introduce you to as well. But the way to do this, I'll just get one I've already done a little bit earlier. This one here has one in it already. So what I've done is folded them, turned it that way, put under. This is a long arm one. You need to get down, and now I'm kneeling on one knee, just to make sure it's in line, and then there you go. So that's it done. And then there we go through like so. And there we have one basic kind of mock-up to the actual size of the magazine. Something we can hold in our hands, and something we can actually sort of flick through. I think what you've got to remember about magazines and design for print, it's all divisible by 4. So that's a 12-page brochure now. Adding another sheet will make it 16, and so on, 20. So any piece of print that's like that, there's a magazine that's stapled like that, has to be divisible by 4. You can't have such a thing as a 10-page or a 22-page brochure. It's impossible. So yeah, and what I'd like to show you here again is just some of the examples from previous years. So here we have the student's design transposed onto that mock-up, and as you can see there, this is actually how it looks. Contents page, front cover, contents page, back page, and various spreads. Yeah, and this is something we'll be aiming towards basically by the end of the project, or maybe halfway through, because what I'm showing you here is the result of many different mock-ups, many different kind of layouts. So we've improved it. So all the type is correct, all the line breaks are nice, there's no spelling mistakes. So you know, all that attention to detail comes into this project. So that's a Vim Crowell. This one here is Rodchenko. This is a nice one. This is Neville Brody. The two faces of Neville Brody, or the many faces of Neville Brody. Neville Brody is a famous typographic graphic designer. This is him when he was younger, and this is when he was a bit older. So, and also this here is basically the front cover idea for the front cover of a magazine he did called the Face magazine back in the mid-80s, I think it's mid-80s, late 80s. Yeah, so that's what we call an idea. Nice idea on the front cover. So we will be looking for that. This one here has got a trace cover, Eric Gill. This has actually got a nice trace cover on it. Eric Gill, famous English typographer. Hubler Ballin. Again, that's a nice layout there. Nice range left, range right. So yeah, I could go on, but we'll show you these anyways. Now, what I also want to quickly do in this session is also show you how to put together 2 spreads. So once you've designed your spread, Chris will show you how to do this, you will end up basically having to print out one spread on one A3 and one on another. And what we do is, I'll just move this back out of the way, I'll just put it up to the camera. When you finally print out your spread, you see the tick marks here, the crop marks? Yeah. So you base it, there's crop marks there, and that's some indication where we can cut to in order to cut out our spread. That's something you apply in the dialog box when you finally finish your design. You send it to print, send it with crop marks on, print with crop marks on. But again, Chris will show you how to do that. So that then allows me to be able to quickly cut out the actual spread. And also, you know, there's no horrible black line around it as well. So you don't cut the whole way through. I'm cutting out like a window. I'm not cutting all the way across because I don't want to cut away. If I cut all the way out and move that out of the way, I've lost my vertical guidelines. So you essentially go around it like that, always cutting on the waist edge, as we well know now. And there you have it. Down you go. So watch this. End the scalpel, pull it out, and there I have the spread. Voila. And there is basically what I don't want. So there we go. So that's one. And then the other one, which I had here, which is here. Black and white is good enough to start off with. There's no point basically running anything out colour initially, but with your first couple of spreads that you do, just because we'll be writing all over them. You know, you can run colour out if you want, but it's a little bit more expensive. So there you can see it's page 26 and page 27. So then, how do I put them together? Well, quite easily. Turn it over, and using your masking tape, this is where the masking tape comes in. Put that on there, half and half. Put some pressure on there, lift it up, move it over like that, get this like this. Leave a little bit of a gap in between. Run your eye along, leave about 0.5 millimetre, and there we go. Get your scalpel and just take off the excess masking tape, take off the excess masking tape, and there you have a spread that you can fold, a spread that you can then begin to put into your mock-up, maybe, just to see how it looks in your mock-up. Open your mock-up up. You don't have to spray mount in at this stage, but you can do. But by simply putting that in there now, I've gone from a situation from having a mock-up to be able to see what it looks like. Yeah, black and white like that. So again, this is something that you will achieve easily within the first week, and you know, so you can see how fast this will develop. So yeah, I'll just do one more just to sort of show you that, and then if you do want to go to colour, still the same principle. I've got a colour wad here, which is the Best Tobacco Inspirations. Another interesting thing which you can do, and I don't know if you can notice on here, but you can actually see the grid. I'll get Chris to do that. We don't normally do this, but there's a way of actually basically just printing it with the grid out, with the grid on it, which is quite good because you can see whether, you know, how you're sticking to your grid, how you're using your grid, or whether you actually just completely ignored the fact that you actually have a grid, which I've seen done in the past, which is always quite amusing, to go through the whole process of grids and then for somebody to actually use it. It's quite something. And here we go. So yeah, just again, take those off. I mean, you should use a ruler really, but years of practices got me into this sort of thing. And then fold that again. I've just left a very little gap in between. A very little tiny gap in there. And there we have a spread. What you can do with something like this, you keep making them and making them. You can then use your spray mount one side of it, and then just spray mount that to that, and keep doing it with the spreads, and then you will end up with a sort of magazine as well, without actually having to make a dummy like we did before. So you can just spray them like that. And the more that you do, the more the magazine will take shape. That's one way of doing a quick mock-up. I think that's probably about it for mock-ups. But yeah, hopefully that will help you be able to eventually. And I'd like to see everybody, have done that by the first week. It's not a big ask, is it? Cutting out 4 bits of paper and folding it, and stapling it. I think that's something that could be done in 15 minutes. I think and that's actually. So yeah, that's hopefully going to help people with the dummies. I think, is there anything else on dummies? I don't think there is. I think that's probably about it. Okay, I'll just go and find Ted.